Planned Brotherhood is not affiliated or associated with Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood is a registered trademark of Planned Parenthood Federation of America, Incorporated. Although I love both, I'm kind of a bigger fan of Planned Brotherhood, just so everybody knows.
It must have been, it must have been, it must have been a happy time, time. It must have been, it must have been, it must have been a happy time, time. The sun would shine, the candy bars, Kool-Aid flowing like wine, the comic books, the TV shows, the bubble gum, the kitty cat.
I kind of feel like that's a theme in movies, even current and TV shows, where somebody's having a conversation while driving and they're just staring off into the passenger seat camera.
Yeah, and some of them make like a sort of joke about it, I guess, but the wacky and it's dangerous too, because I remember when I bought my first car, a Plymouth Sundance, I let this kid named Matt that I knew.
I thought the Skylark was your first.
No, I had a Plymouth Sundance that broke down immediately.
I consider the Skylark your first.
Oh, it was my first great car. But yeah, I let this kid Matt drive it, and he drove it like a cartoon character. He did his just swinging the wheel back and forth. That's what he'd always seen on TV, I guess.
Yeah, well, my idea of driving was, sitting in a completely parked car, and then so the steering wheel only goes that 1 inch each way.
Yeah,
and so that's how I thought driving was.
Yeah.
I mean, as a real little kid, I wasn't a retard.
There's a lot of themes in this movie, like just being 80s.
It's not as screamingly 80s. I mean, except for Christian Slater having such a major role and the constant plug of Nintendo.
Yeah, and fluorescent visors.
Can people assume we're talking about the Wizard? Not that this will be kept in. You're not even talking to the mic.
No, I know.
It's no Karate Kid.
Not a lot of people know the Wizard, because when this first got into rotation on HBO and I watched it, I was trying to find anybody like at work who had ever seen this movie before.
I thought it was a staple.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Because Fred Savage, I mean, he was working on Wonder Years as this was going on, so he could only do so many movies per year, I would think.
Yeah, but how many people do you know really saw Little Monsters either?
That's true.
Not a lot of people saw it.
I not only saw it, but I had the novelization of it that I got through Scholastic Book Clubs.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And then there's The Princess Bride. He did, everyone did see that one.
The Boy Who Could Fly? I don't know how many people saw that.
That's a good one, though.
Well, he's got the best scene in it.
Yeah.
You ever actually shot somebody with piss from a squirt gun?
No, I made piss ice cubes in somebody's tray once.
We talked about that. But Savage has a career going still, mostly as a director now. All right, PJ. Should I turn the movie off? It's too distracting, right? So rather than catching people up on everything, just listen to episode 97 if you haven't, right?
Yeah.
And this first segment will be about my most recent correspondence with Nick Fritters, our stepmom, who is suing the show, but taking a damn long time to do it.
I don't think she's suing the show, but
I'm just saying that was her previous threat.
Oh, yeah.
And then you wrote her back that awesome email. I cowered in the corner. And, of course, rather...
You did not cower in the corner. I had every right to write that email back. She sent
I'm not
it
saying
to
you
me,
didn't.
And, I don't even know for sure, looking back, if I noticed that it was specifically addressed to you.
What do you mean?
That email she wrote to you, and she sent it to just you, and she CC'd the rest of us, and she started it like Nick, comma, bitch.
Right. That was verbatim.
I don't know if by the time I responded to it, because I responded to it pretty quickly, if I even noticed that it was addressed solely to you. Like, it came up in my email thing. You had either called me or left me a voicemail, and I think you said that she wrote us.
Yeah, well, she CC'd you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had every...
Isn't that the answer to your question?
Well, yeah, I know.
It was sent to me, but you were meant to see it.
Well, no, I know that now, but when she says, later on, that it was inappropriate for me to have responded to that email.
All right, we're getting too far ahead of ourselves here. I received this on June 3rd. June 3rd.
I'm at Nick Orlando's house, and I'm playing backgammon and watching Mystery Team.
And it's like 1 in the morning, right?
Yeah, and I'm really high.
and it's a Thursday, so I wasn't sure if I was going to get your voicemail or not. And I mean, we're text buddies, if anything. We'll send each other texts, but rarely do we call each other.
Yeah.
But I knew this was going to be a mouthful. I wanted to read it to you over the phone.
As soon as I saw you were calling, I knew it was something big, and I knew it was this. I knew that you had heard something from
Yeah. Neckfritters.
Neckfritters.
So,
So that's my state of mind. I'm already scared I'm not scared, but high, nervous, anxious.
yeah. But again, this one she didn't even bother CCing to you.
Yeah.
Even though you were the one to respond to her. I sent Dad a text, but I had said nothing directly to her since that first email. And then, she decides that she's going to again send it to me, even though a lot of the things she makes a point to reply to were things that you said.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and read it. June 3rd, 8:40 p.m. So I heard today from the caseworker that I was right about you. She confirmed your criminal record and background check and your consequences as a result of it. Not a big surprise to me, though. Now, my legal friend tells me that, this is me talking now, that the caseworker has no right to give Neckfritters that information.
Yeah.
My guess is because I haven't set up an appointment to... I filled out a background check thing on the day of Melissa's family hearing or whatever that was. But I didn't... they said that I had to get my fingerprints ran too. And I still haven't filled out that paperwork and set up an appointment. So I'm thinking maybe the most the caseworker could have told her was no, he doesn't have the right to see her yet. But that would have nothing to do with my non-existent criminal record.
I don't even know what caseworker means. It seems like it's just somebody who she's saying like, hey, I found this...
It seems like she wikied legal terms.
Right, yeah. Like, oh, I found out via the internet, which I paid $75 for this information.
Oh, God, I hope she did.
That he has a parking ticket. Can you tell me this is accurate? And some caseworker, probably, someone she works with who is a caseworker says, yeah, that means he has a parking ticket. Criminal record. There you go.
And not a big surprise to her, though. She knows that I'm a sleazeball.
Yeah, and as it becomes more obvious later without her saying it, is that's why she's targeting you.
Yeah.
She feels that she's scaring you with this information she has.
Wow, sure helps me now to proof, PROOF, my case against you in court. First of all, her case against us is supposedly anti-harassment.
Yeah, is that
Where
we're
is my parking
harassing her?
ticket going to come into this?
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Oh, and then she's such a fucking condescending whore. See you there.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's at the end.
That's not at the end.
Oh, that was right then?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You're spoiling everything.
Oh, sorry.
See you there. Again, because you did not get it the first time. I will have say it again for you. This is between me and you only, which is why she CC'd you and Lori.
The first time, not this time.
Yeah. Weird that other people, and especially you, did not get that before. I just made the point I meant to make after that sentence, but give me a fucking break. It's first of all, if it's an anti-harassment suit against the show, no, it should involve you as well.
Yeah, I know.
It's not just between me and her. Call her a cunt. Maybe
But
she'll bring you into it.
You have parking tickets, so you're the type of guy to prosecute. Which it seems like that's what she wants to sue you for at this point.
Yeah. Well, she can have that one.
You have a record.
You had to have your little brother respond for you.
That's right.
Yeah, way to fucking shift me. Like, she is such a child about this whole thing. I will say I was a little upset when I read that part. She's right to a degree.
No, it's not true.
No, I didn't ask you to write anything for me. I just knew that I didn't have any interest in writing her back. Nobody else will be involved with this because you are the one with a criminal record, capital C, capital R.
Why? So why wouldn't anyone else be involved? No one else is going to be involved in this lawsuit I have against you, the anti-harassment. So she said, I'm not going to be involved because you have a criminal record, which you don't, and which has nothing to do with anything.
That is what the judge looks at, though. J is also capitalized. Not quite as dumb as you may think, Nick.
She wrote that, huh?
Yes, she
That
did.
is what the judge looks at.
That is what the judge looks at. Not quite as dumb as you may think, Nick. No dumber based on this. Or is it more dumb? Now I'm the idiot. Share this with anyone you choose. Thank you for that permission. I don't
See, that's it right there. She just wrote us permission to talk about it.
share this with anyone you choose. I don't care, as they can't help you in court. Although, if it does come to a lawsuit, I'd appreciate all of our listeners to invest in a suit and a plane ticket. Oh, yeah, and keep on broadcasting. It will just help me more.
There, she just told us to keep going.
I wouldn't have if she hadn't written that part.
That's true. This would have all been kept a secret.
FYI, your sister is listening to you as well. Hope that makes you feel even more successful. See you soon.
Yeah.
So again, she's like,
She was quoting
Can
me.
you imagine
there.
the disgusting sundress she'll be wearing in court? That
What-
flab
Question,
hanging out.
Was the subject line "all bark no bite"?
I'm afraid it wasn't. We forgot to mention in her last bullshit email that we read on episode 97 that the subject line for that email was Melissa, our sister's name.
Yeah.
Therefore, it had nothing to do with her whatsoever. Yeah. And as far as our sister listening to the podcast as well, no, she's no longer allowed to. Her foster parents told her so. And I don't know how close Neckforders is listening because we made that clear on the show once before.
Yeah, I
thought she was our biggest fan.
I think that these are late night pill fueled, white wine fueled.
And I know I ask this and think this every time, but what the fuck is Dad doing while she's writing this?
Oh.
Is he helping her or is he jerking off sadly in the corner?
He's living in hell, whatever it is. It cannot be pleasant over there.
No, I'm sure not.
I'm sure her kids have been
It never was,
now.
though. Like, this is just the newest iron in the fire.
Yeah.
And the most exciting, I'm sure.
You think she talks about it like to her kids? Like, you won't believe what your stepbrothers are doing?
They'll say stepbrothers?
Or do they not talk to her? Or do they not talk to each other?
Every 2 weeks it changes.
Yes, it's off and on. We finally met them like a year ago. I did for the first time.
I'd met them once previous to that. Yeah. And I'm sure they don't give a shit. She tried to drag her daughter's name through it in her last email to us.
Yeah, she forgot about that.
Could she really care?
The daughter?
Yeah.
I don't see how.
She's married to a motocross guy. She used to be a cheerleader.
Is that true? She married to a motocross guy?
I don't understand why she doesn't live in a mansion.
She might. She might. I don't know. Maybe we should borrow some money from her. Just randomly, not for anything.
Yeah, I shouldn't have written Neckforders back. I should have gone straight to the source.
No. What if we were like that? What if we like attacked her kids and stuff?
Yeah, start making bullshit threats. That would just be childish.
Yeah.
Speaking of childish, so I read this to you over the phone and had convinced myself, like I'd read it like maybe 3 times before I read it to you. And then I told you that I wasn't going to write her back because she didn't deserve it. Because that's pretty much honestly how I felt the first time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be wrapped into this. Like, it's not even worth it. Although I went to Dad and told him he's a terrible father. But I felt like he needed to hear that, whereas she knows she's terrible.
Yeah.
So I hung up, and then I went outside to smoke a cigarette. And then I came back in. This is like 1:30 in the morning by this point. And wrote up a little tiny email, but called you before I sent it to read it to you. And this is what it said. Go fuck yourself. And then my dad, he could use it. And then I signed it not PJ because I was still so hung up on that had your little brother respond for you line.
Yeah.
And I was asking for your approval. And I said my finger was over the send button, just waiting for a yes or no. But I'd sent it like as soon as I heard your voice again because I knew you'd approve.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I haven't heard anything since. But give it 2 episodes. It always seems to happen that way.
Yeah, I wonder though. She seems so much even less of a threat in the second email
Yeah,
than
she
the
made
first. That what is she gonna have?
I mean,
left?
she sounded like a chump in the first one, but this one just really made it abundantly clear. Her threats have nothing to do with this particular thing. Has nothing to do with this show. Has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's just fueling her fire more. But she's got nothing, and she knows she's got nothing.
Yeah. We could email her back like in a week if we don't hear from her.
I already did my. We've both written one email now. I think that's all she deserves.
It just seems like I don't want to be waiting in limbo, so I can write her every week and be like, just wondering when that court date is.
I might be on board with that.
I need to request some time off.
We should we should do that.
Yeah.
If we haven't gotten our all bark no bite email within the next time we record, I say that's pretty brilliant, and we send it from the show's email address.
Yeah, we have to know what's going on in our legal lives.
I was telling you before, I don't know why. I wrote Dad off a while before these threats even started coming through. And Mom, she's crazy, and I haven't talked to her in months either. But it only just hit me, and I guess it's because Father's Day is like 4 days from now, and I'll also be 30 in 2 days.
Happy birthday.
I just thought about turning 30. Not that I ever texted him on Father's Day, but my birthday. This is a huge deal.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to hear from either him or Mom. Mom might attempt. But
I don't see that happening.
Dad's going to know it's my birthday the whole day.
Yeah.
He's going to know I've hit this milestone.
Yeah.
Not that I would accept his call, but it kind of bums me out
from
to
him
think
again
about.
on a birthday. But I never enjoyed hearing from them anyway.
I know, I didn't
Well,
either.
in the
I
age
dreaded
of
it, in fact.
in the age
It's
of
just,
text, it got better, but like 7 years ago or something like that, I would be like, oh, I hope they don't call.
And I was still that way up through last year, but I mean, it's just weird that now that's gone.
Yeah.
And it's because of this. It's because we invested in microphones.
It can't be that weird, though, because you didn't have it for the first, almost 20 years of your life.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? It's not like that your dad has always told you happy birthday on your birthday. It's only happened like 6 times in your 30.
I know. I kind of got used to it.
Really?
Kind of got addicted to it.
I don't know. I didn't.
You don't like getting a happy birthday on your birthday?
Not from mom or dad.
All right. Let's say outside of them.
Yeah. Well, as long as it's a text, sure.
Yeah. Or
and if it's a text,
sure.
I guess I don't really care if it's from mom and dad. But that's the thing. I don't care. I don't text them Happy Father's Day or Happy Mother's Day.
I think I did up through this last year. Maybe not Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Mom was already cuckoo by that point. But Dad...
we write them off when they go cuckoo. They're fucking done.
Yeah, let's make it clear. We wrote them off in
How's
both
Aunt
cases.
Annie doing? I don't even know if she's dead or not. It's cuckoo.
Yeah. Especially...
Is she dead?
Annie?
Yeah.
Yeah. R.I.P.
Oh, that's right. It's just mom and Aunt Denise now.
Aunt Denise sent me an apology out of the blue recently by text.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm glad I didn't get one.
Yeah,
changed
but
my
she still
number.
got a few "your mom's still crazy" jabs in there,
Yeah.
which I agreed with, but I didn't write her back. It's pointless.
Didn't she say that?
I'm content with talking to the 3 or 4 family members I have left.
Yeah, me too.
I don't want to bring back and nobody else deserves to be brought back into this fold.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty pompous, but
Yeah,
they're living their
weird,
own
isn't
J-Dub lives. Like, they don't want to be a part of ours anyway. I'm just saying I don't care.
It's weird, but it's not like
I don't want them either. I'm not scratching outside Uncle Russ's door.
I think it's just because it's such a big family, and then mom's is such a kind of estranged family. Like, who at all are you close to on mom's side of the family?
And never.
And
Daniel
never,
lived
yeah.
with us for a couple months, but that was it.
I think he stayed with us for 1 month.
Yeah, exactly. That's even further proves my point.
But yeah, but it's not like we're the weirdo nephews in dad's side of the family that are alienating all these people, because we haven't, except for Neckforders, who isn't even a part of the family. It's they all hate each other, like all the siblings.
Mm-hmm.
They have their wars. Like, we talk to 2 of dad's siblings, and not dad.
Uncle Tracy and Aunt Lori.
Yeah, 2 out of 6, and I don't think any of them talk to hardly anyone else in the family.
You're talking about on the show we've talked to them?
No, I'm just talking about who
in
we
general.
talk to.
Yeah.
I guess
because I was
Aunt
going to say
Rhonda.
Uncle Barry has been on the show too.
Yeah,
but
yeah. we don't really talk to Barry anymore.
No, that's true. I think he deleted his Facebook because of us. I can't prove that.
I don't think so. I think he would have just
Neckforders is making me paranoid.
I think Barry is getting married now, and he's just like gonna start a new life.
I can still call him Barry Unmarried.
No more
though, right?
Facebook. Barry Unmarried. 3 years from now. That's mean. That's very mean.
Yeah, even his first miserable marriage lasted longer than that.
But he left a thing on Facebook that he was moving to, on YouTube, that he was moving to.
Wait, so he gave a video sign-off?
No, it was just like a message.
Oh, I see.
Or his YouTube friend. And it just said, like, leaving for Memphis or thereabouts. I'll be posting a lot of videos from there, which I don't think will happen.
Oh, God, I hope it does, though.
He never posts videos, except for when I do it for 9 hours for him.
Oh, yeah, the stand-up video, of course. YouTube.com/BTLemming. Has he moved away then? Is he in Tennessee now?
I don't think so.
Oh, all right. We should get a beer with him tonight.
I don't think he wants one with
some
us,
lapel
to be
mics.
honest. I don't get a warm feeling from him at all anymore. I texted him about a month ago, just like a little feeler text. I think I was paranoid. Is he mad at me? So I sent out a little text, and
what would we have done recently to piss him off, though?
I don't know. He's probably been listening to the show.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Or just in general, we've become too bad of influences. And like I say, I'm deleting my Facebook page. I'm getting a new life. I'm going to go get married again. Someone I've always loved. It's he's really
AOL love is not love. I will stress that over and over.
He's like setting himself up for like a big romantic comedy. Hope it works. There'll be hard times. There'll be good times.
Barry Unmarried would be the name of that romantic comedy until Jay Moore sues.
I didn't mean a sitcom. But that's still a good movie title too. Barry Unmarried.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. We can't be done talking about Neckforders. I know that Dad. I don't know where I stand with Grandma at all.
You'd be willing to see her still, right?
Well, I mean, I ditched like the last 2 times, but not because of anything political, just because of I really didn't want to go to grandma's house. But so Alvina would bring the baby over there, and yeah, I mean, but that was just because it just seems uncomfortable and boring anyway. But you know that Dad has talked to her and been like, this is what the boys are doing, and then so Grandma's got to form an opinion right there on the spot about what's going on. So if I called Grandma, first of all, I would never, and I also wouldn't go to a meet.
If Grandma called you, would you answer?
Yeah, because I don't think Grandma would get confrontational at all.
No.
But if I ever were in it, now I can never go to any other like sort of barbecue or anything that Grandma is at. Not that I would ever be invited to one anyway.
But you haven't. You said you ditched the last 2 times.
No, that's just to like go over to bring the baby by.
Right.
And then Alvina just goes
Well,
by.
even if she does have a problem with us, still bring Sophie over.
These are by no means barbecues when that happens. This is just sitting around for about 45 minutes to an hour and then leaving.
Yeah.
But if I randomly went to one of those now, then I guarantee you she would bring up the whole dad thing. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. But
maybe she doesn't give a shit.
I know she knows about it, though.
You don't know that. You just sense that she knows that.
Oh, come on. You know, Dad. Who else is Dad
I
talking
agree with
to?
you, but we don't know
Dad,
for certain.
Dad can't even talk to his wife. There's literally no one else for him to talk to. He can't vent with you anymore. He can't even
No, and he used to depend on that. You could see the
Yeah.
neediness in his eyes when he would show up.
Yeah. All he's got is
Good,
Grandma.
fuck him. He dug
Dude,
his own grave.
I bet
dude.
Grandma has spent a lot of time on the phone with Dad lately.
Oh, God.
Because he's just a big baby at heart.
Yeah.
Like we saw after Mom left, like I mean, this is gonna mean, but he was very dependent on anyone that would listen to him.
Well, if anything, we're getting repetitive. That's been made clear here before. But to plant a bug in that house,
Yeah.
to be a fly on that wall, my God. I just want to know. I just want some indication.
I really don't. Like, I ultimately never want to see.
You don't get a certain jolt out of knowing she's hearing this? That's kind of the same thing.
I don't know. Maybe it's just high me talking, but not really. Like, I don't care.
I don't care until 2 weeks passes and she writes another BS email.
I'm to the point to where I'll admit that I was very scared after that first email came out. And it took a lot of calming myself down and just going, what I ultimately told myself was, this isn't going to go anywhere, obviously. There's nothing here. I just kept trying to convince myself of that. And then I started thinking about, and I actually had a conversation with my wife about it, because I would dwell on it a lot.
Sure. Me too. And I don't have a wife, so I was really sad.
Let's say that she was really, really upset by this, Nick Furters. And she went out and she worked her ass off to subpoena us to show up to some kind of court date. What if that happened? It wouldn't be the worst day of your life. You know what I mean?
No, I think we'd have fun.
There are trash families that take each other to court all the time. It's not like you're going to get prison or anything like that.
And I want to say, I don't mean the court process would not be fun, but just the story to have later.
Yeah.
Me and you showing up in ties and cracking jokes on the breaks. Are there breaks? Oh, God, I hope there's a break.
I'm sure the whole thing is very short, to be honest with you. A lot of waiting beforehand, probably.
And my friend tells me that it wouldn't even go to court right away. Like, there would be some kind of in-room discussion where there's some kind of judge-like character there.
In room with them?
Yes.
With like a moderator?
Yeah. That would be
or
fucking
a
intense.
mediator is what I mean.
Yeah, I know. I heard that when he said
Yeah,
it.
see, that's something I hate. But then if it were happening, I would be like, I'd just be so mad at her. I'd be like, why are you making me do this?
Maybe she'll just show up by speakerphone.
Yeah. There's the dream. But no, I imagine more of a fun situation, like big courtroom scene where we'll crack jokes like the Newton boys when they were on trial, and everyone will like us.
I've looked into hiring my cousin Vinny to represent us.
But it would be fun because, it could definitely be fun. It's just not the worst thing that can happen.
No.
And she has nothing. She literally wants. First of all,
this second email made it so much more clear that she has
nothing. The second
nothing.
email made something clear to me, which is that apparently I'm not involved at all. I don't have to worry about going to court.
And apparently she's not all there. I mean, I gather that anyway. But good God,
so
Melissa could have written this and been more convincing.
Yeah, that's true. Especially
it would explain the misspellings. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute too. Shine a positive light on this whole experience.
Does it make you mad that she's singling you out now? Like, she literally is saying this has nothing to do with me.
Well, it makes me mad, but it also kind of comes as a relief because it's obvious whatever record she thinks she's found out about me is her only case, which I know is not a case.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it is kind of irritating.
The most she can do is like go down and just report you to like the traffic crime section of the police department or of the courthouse and go, hey, I know where this guy is. And he does this podcast and stuff. And they'll go, thanks.
She
we'll
probably
send
has
him a bill.
Yeah, she probably has a case with the library policeman, too.
That's true. Philip Baker Hall? Was that even a movie?
No, Philip Baker Hall played the library
was...
policeman in an episode of Seinfeld.
I was thinking Stephen King.
And Stephen King wrote, the most fucked up short story ever about a library policeman, and it ended with the kid being raped by the policeman. Do you remember that?
I never read it.
Oh my god, it's terrible.
I don't think you ever told me that ending.
Spoiler alert.
That just stunned me.
And he was chewing on licorice at the time, and it came like he clenched on it for comfort as the guy was railing him from behind. I recommend people check that out.
How short a story is that?
It could have been a lot shorter, in my opinion.
But is
cut out that ending.
Is it like any porno that's like it's just boring after 10 minutes? Like after 10 pages, you've already came, so might as well end it.
No, for the most part, it was just like this noirish, like what if you actually did get pursued for not returning some dumb book? And I think the book had powers or something. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah. Stephen King really comes up with a pretty good idea and then goes, and then we'll end it in anal rape. And it was aliens the whole time. We'll just give him powers halfway through.
Yeah, in the case of Under the Dome, I actually was raped by that book by reading the ending.
It was aliens.
These are the conversations I used to have with Dad. Stephen King was one of our safety subjects. I hope you missed this, Dad. He's still kind of getting it, though.
I think that what aggravates me about Stephen King, other than his cop-out, well, they always are his cop-out endings, but even like in The Langoliers, which I don't even think I've read, I just saw the miniseries, just randomly one character out of nowhere will go, well, what if this is what happened? What if, I'll spoil The Langoliers, not Under the Dome, but it was like, what if we somehow went through a rip in space and we only survived it because we were all asleep, and now we're 15 minutes in the future, and it's got to pass, and the Langoliers are coming to eat it up and shit like that.
That's why you hire an actor like Dean Stockwell. He can sell that exposition.
And then someone goes, yeah, that must be what's happening. And then that's what's happening.
Yeah, there are never any wrong guesses in a Stephen King book.
Come
on. Agree. I agree with you.
Same thing in Under the Dome. Slightly different. Sorry about Stephen King there. My favorite book is The Long Walk still.
Still? You can't even call that a book.
Yeah, it is. It's like
it's
250
novella,
pages.
Isn't it?
It's like 250 pages.
Can I say novella again just for the hell of it?
That's longer than Gatsby, I think. Than Gatsby.
I thought the Neckforders thing would go longer too, but I guess we've just determined it's bullshit. There. So yeah, there's not much to say.
There's no more fear to dwell on.
If people want to send a personal message to, well, here's what I mean by that. People should call our voicemail 206-338-7562, and we'll collect some responses to the situation. Who's in the right? Well, if anybody's listening to our show aside from family, I'm gonna assume they're a fan. But I'm just saying, because she listens anyway, people can get their voices out there. We'll devote a segment of a future episode to people's opinions.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, that works.
Or Facebook. I don't give a shit.
Are against, I don't think anyone's against us.
I think people are against the idea of leaving us a voicemail sometimes.
Maybe so.
we get plenty of disclaimers. We appreciate it. Thanks, everybody.
I don't see how we're in the wrong at all here. We're being childish at worst. You know what I mean?
At worst?
Yeah,
that's where I was thrown off a little.
That's the worst thing we're doing is being childish.
Yeah,
we're not in the wrong here.
And I agree. Like I'll take a step back sometimes when we do an episode like this and think, you know, we could have not done it. We could have just kept this private. But at this point,
I think all she's looking for at this point is a back down. Like, that's why we almost have to do it. She's looking for a back down. She's like, I'm just going to keep threatening them.
Then how do you explain this? Let me read it again. Oh yeah, and keep on broadcasting.
Well, yeah,
I'm just abiding by her rules, her request.
Yeah, it's some sort of reverse psychology, to be sure. She just thinks we're going to stop, like almost we're going to give it up, like we're going to send her the 2 gallons of olive oil just to shut her up or something like that. Maybe that's what we should do. Maybe we should send as a peace offering literally 2 gallons of olive oil and some Olive Garden meat sauce and breadsticks.
Yeah, and maybe I'll burn a CD with segments of the show that we talked about her.
Yeah.
Not to be mean, but just so she doesn't have to root through and find them herself.
That's right. You should mark them Exhibit A.
You know I like to make a good
put
mix.
like all your old dental bills you haven't paid. Mark it as Exhibit B. Here you go. Just let's get the show on the road.
I am down with that idea of emailing her in a week and asking when we can expect the paperwork.
We got to see. We gotta.
You're right, because
I've got time off coming up.
Although my friend again told me it does sometimes, if she's going to fight for it, it does take a while before we're here. And I'm like, oh man, I wasn't home to check the mail today. I wonder if I got something. And she's like, oh, it won't come in the mail. You're going to get served, if anything at all.
Yeah.
Which kind of scared me until I read this email.
Why? Because the servers, the people who serve you, carry guns or something?
No, I'm not saying that. But then, like, I don't want... I want it to be impersonal. I want to check my mail, grab it along with my Maxim. Nobody knows the difference. You know, there's a chance my roommate will be home and then I get served while she's hanging out watching VH1. I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. And what if I'm not home and she is and they're like, okay, can you let them know? Isn't that how it would happen?
I don't think so. I think I don't know. What I get from comedy movies is that
Pineapple Express.
They have to watch you sign the thing. Like, if you can dodge them until that thing is signed, and
sure, I have
you
to
sign.
Right, but they can let her know that they stopped by, or tell her to let me know they stopped by.
I don't think they would do that because then they'd be like tipping you off to start ignoring them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they'd
then
be like, "Oh,
lamb.
tell him he won a prize and to meet me here."
You know what? Is Ed McMahon still alive?
I don't think so. No,
Get him to start serving people.
Oh my!
That'd be the ultimate fuck you.
I think he was doing that in the end. He lost his house. Might have been close. Oh my god. Dude, you just stumbled onto like a great sketch there. If only he was still alive.
If only we had any talent, that would be on YouTube.
He brought the balloons and everything and the serves people.
I'm liking this.
That'd be like, fuck you, legal America.
I'm suggesting we cut that part out of the show, just so people don't steal my idea.
Well, we don't cut
I'm going
to
to trust the listener.
We copy it. We send it out to a few people with cameras.
What if Neckfurters bought video equipment and did that just to piss us off? I know I can't sue them, so I'm going to steal their idea.
Then I'm suing her.
That's true, right?
This timestamp.
We just need to patent that idea before this episode comes out.
No. I suppose I wouldn't want to be served at work, but it wouldn't come to that because they would always find me here. If I got served, they would knock on my door. I would answer it, and they'd go, "Oh, can you sign here?" And then I would just be so embarrassed and sign as fast as I could before any neighbors saw. And although that would not be the seediest thing happening.
No, I was just gonna make a comment. Yeah,
I had.
They find you out on the golf course.
the guy downstairs wouldn't leave. He wouldn't leave the house for months. And,
was he being evicted or what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Forcefully in the end. There was sheriffs coming over all the time.
Holy shit.
Get your shit out of here. It was funny. I feel bad for that guy. He had 3 kids and his wife got deported. He didn't have a job or anything.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. He was in a bad way. Don't know what he's doing now. Don't really care. I'm kind of glad to quit hearing the stories every night. Quit getting $5 bummed off me for gas or diapers or whatever.
I've never had a neighbor ask me for cash, but apparently here it happens constantly.
Yeah, it does, man. It's like
that's a weird thing.
It's like, dude, we live in the same place. I still need gas. My kid still needs food. You can always give my gas and food, although I've got lots of money to burn.
And I think they see that. You pull out your waiter wad when you're coming home from work.
I don't do that.
They see that shit. They're looking through the window.
I don't advertise like that. But, they always see, they're definitely always out there. I make myself sound so pompous. But literally, every Sunday, we come back from Costco and we're dragging all this huge, extravagant shit into the house.
Yeah, plus you guys have a nice car and your kid has a clean face.
We only recently got a semi-nice, very used car. My piece of shit is the one that's always been out there.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is we'll go oh, we got this new bookshelf, so I had to take out this chair that I had that I really liked, but I never really sat on it, and it was really wearing out. And I put it downstairs, so I drag up a new bookcase, bring down this chair, and it's gone by the time I come downstairs for the next load. It's just instantly gone. We got rid of that old computer desk, that really shitty one.
Yeah, that thing was on its last legs.
Dude,
literally.
It was gone by the time I went out to smoke next. So no more than an hour later, it was gone.
Have you ever taken trash off? Not trash, but say you see a piece of furniture. I see mattresses with a free sign on them in Seattle a lot, and I'm like, that's just creepy.
Yeah, that's
I wouldn't trust a street mattress, but
that's not something I'd want to do.
I've stolen a coffee. Well, not stolen's the wrong word. It's out there for everybody to grab. I've had. Oh, it's not a coffee table, but like a little nightstand type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little one, big enough for my lamp and my alarm clock. But I had a girlfriend that complained she would get splinters because it was not very well furnished.
I saw a landlord evicting somebody once and got a TV stand, like an entertainment center thing, like a real cheap, flimsy one. I got that from him. I was like, "Hey, are you selling this stuff?" He's, "No, you can have it." Like, he was so pissed, he was forcefully evicting somebody. He was like, "No, you can have it." So that's it.
I'll see
A lot of Value Village furniture.
Yeah. VCRs baking in the sun on a corner.
Yeah.
And I always want to take them because I have VHS tapes that are useless to me right now.
Yeah.
But VCRs would break within 2 weeks of buying them anyway, most of the time, I feel like. There was a lot of beating of my VCRs. I feel like that's one of the few pieces of equipment anymore, I was going to say, but even they're obsolete now. But there's not much you can do with digital technology in terms of hitting it and making it work again.
I saw an ad for a coupon on Sunday for a VCR DVD player combo, and I thought it was really weird. I was like, I can't believe they even still have those.
Sure they do.
I bet people are stockpiling them. They're going to be like, it's going to be the new Super Nintendo. Everyone's going to want these one day.
Yeah.
Just kind of getting there.
Yeah, and I was at Target the other day looking to burn my $7 left of a gift card, and they have Walkmans still, like full-out portable cassette players.
Yeah, I saw one.
Or again, I felt like they were gone for a while. It must be retro assholes coming through.
I think that honestly is what it is.
Yeah.
People want to watch VCRs again. Like, oh, I'm screening on VHS. That's how you should watch Troll 2.
I
Fuck
get
these new posers.
And I kind of get it. Like, I get the nostalgia factor. Like, but it's less about the fact that I'm watching it on VHS and having to fast forward and rewind, because that's still as much of a pain in the ass as it was at the time that they were relevant.
Yeah.
But, like, I have stuff on tape that I've never bothered to transfer, like home videos for one. But then also, if there's a random TV show that the commercials aren't cut out of, I enjoy that because you're like, wow, I just saw a trailer for Ghostbusters 2 while watching this episode of whatever, you know? So I like that part of it.
Yeah, I do.
But I guess the internet's good
and
for
I think
that
you've
too.
really convinced me, because I really regret having given Grandma my VCR, because she has my VCR, and it was a pretty good one.
Yeah, I don't know that there's such a thing. They're all going to eat your tapes eventually.
Grandma had one that was fucking so old and still worked. I mean, not fine at all, but it lasted she had it for like 20 years.
Maybe it's all the hitting I've been doing to mine.
Yeah. But hers also is one of those truly old ones. Like, it's a beast.
Have you heard of a website called retrojunk.com?
No.
Oh, dude, you're going to love it.
Really?
You're going to spend all night there.
Is it like that 70s shop?
Well, it's not like a site where you purchase things. It's just where you go and be 11 again for a while. Like, they devote, like, the whole thing is devoted to nostalgia. So, like, candies and cereals and TV shows that you haven't thought about since you were 11 years old. And I sat in front of that fucker for like 4. Yeah, and people will write up articles if you want. Like, it's user. What do you call that?
User friendly.
Well, sure, it's that too, as it's the whole internet. I would
know,
say.
Like, everyone contributes.
Yeah. You can just throw up an article if you want to, but some of them, like, it's crazy.
Dance if you want to.
If you don't, then you're no friend of mine.
I couldn't think of anything after.
I jumped like 2 verses, but that's cool. That still works. Anyway, I recommend that website to anybody that hasn't been there.
Retrojunk.com.
Right.
So they'll have like Rascals.
Rascals was the first one I was looking for, and I found a picture of it.
Those are cool.
And the what was the high C for so long, even after Ghostbusters was off of everybody's radar? It was the Ecto Cooler. Remember? Yeah. See, fun.
It must have been a happy time.